Cool. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Drew from VCS 2017. We're Facebook Living right now with Dr. Yu from San Antonio. Thanks for joining us. Good. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. So tell me a little bit about yourself and your practice. What do you specialize in?
I'm a board-certified facial plastic surgeon in San Antonio. Beautiful. I just retired from the Air Force after 21 years.
No kidding.
It was a huge chapter in my life, and always wanted to do something on my own, so I struck out and started my own private practice just last November. So it's an exciting time for us.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what it's like to be a plastic surgeon in the Air Force. Is that what?
So people have this misconception that facial plastic surgeons or plastic surgeons only do trauma and things like that, and we do that. That's our primary role, is take care of our injured soldiers, reconstruct their defects, but we also see our retirees, so with cancer defects, we repair those. But at the same time, the Air Force is a big HMO as well. It's like, Kaiser.
Okay.
And they do offer cosmetic services. It's just that the patients have to pay for it. So,
gotcha.
So we do offer cosmetic surgery in the Air Force as well, but the predominant role is reconstructive, helping our troops and their families. And but also, if they want, they can do procedures to help them look better too, and that's what we do.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So did you get into the Air Force because you knew you wanted to be a doctor in the Air Force, or did you get in the Air Force first and then said, hey, I could do this?
So my dad was a doctor in the Air Force, influenced me, so I wanted to be a doctor from the beginning. And through our Air Force family, I met some people I really respected, so I went to the Air Force Academy, had a great time there, and then went to med school through the Air Force. So all my training has been sponsored by the Air Force, not by choice, it's just things fell into my lap.
Sure.
And it sort of created a long commitment, but I'm very thankful for that because I got great training, met some awesome people, and met my wife as well during that time. So it worked out well.
Check. Yeah, cool.
I just had to serve my country for 21 years, but it wasn't a bad
And thank you for that, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Good stuff. That's awesome. That's a really beautiful story. So we're at VCS. It's a multi-specialty show, so there's a lot of different specialties here. Tell me, is there more value in that for you, attending a show like this versus maybe just a plastic surgery show or facial?
It's an excellent meeting, and I've heard great things about VCS in the past from my colleagues, and I haven't been more in an academic setting. I've always gone to our academy meetings, and it's very scientific. You hear great speakers as well. But one thing I learned or realized was that your sort of topics were sort of secluded, just isolated on what we do in research, etc. I had the lucky freedom or privilege to go to a Kythera-sponsored training. They're the ones who made Kybella. And so during that meeting, it was my first exposure to multidisciplinary, like dermatologists, oculoplastic surgeons, plastic surgeons, and there's a different dynamic there. And then when I heard about VCS, I wanted to give it a try, and so far, the meeting's been very educational. I like it. It's more of a relaxed format. There's not as much, I guess, pretension here. So, and the speakers are very, very excellent, and talks are very compact and sufficient. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Cool. Let's pivot here a little bit. I'll ask you some personal questions about you so we can tell your patients some stuff they may not know about you already. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite sport?
To play or to watch?
Both. Give me both.
All right. So I like to play tennis. I like to play golf. I'm not great at both, but I like to play them. But my favorite sport is American football. 49ers are my favorite team. But as far as the most famous sport event to watch, the World Cup.
Awesome.
I love,
beautiful.
Yeah.
I agree. So what brought you to, are you originally from San Antonio, or were you stationed there? Or?
My dad was in the Air Force, so we lived all around the world, and I joined the Air Force. And during my Air Force career, we've lived in California, Alaska, Texas. Texas was my last assignment. And, my wife being from San Francisco, we sort of wanted to go back to an awesome city like that. But when you have kids, we have 3 boys and they're young, you just realize there's other things that you have to think about, not just nice restaurants. So education, schools, living, houses. And for me personally, the most important issue was how can I start a practice with to my best ability without, in the best environment possible. And I just thought that San Antonio is a large city. I think it's the 8th or largest city in the U.S. by population, but has a small town feel to it. I just felt that with the standard of living, the excellent school system there, that sort of outweighed our love for San Francisco and New York, and we just thought going to those cities we'd have a lot more economic stress, and so we felt let's just stay in San Antonio. It's a good city. It's a military-friendly city. We have great health care there for me and my family, so those are all decisions that made me decide to stay on San Antonio. Beautiful. And it's a good city. We like it.
Yeah, absolutely. The San Antonio Riverwalk, I've been there once. Beautiful. What do you love most about your job?
My favorite part is just helping my patients feel good about themselves. And the nice thing about facial plastic surgery is, for the most part, we're dealing with healthy patients who have nothing wrong, but they want to look good on the outside the way they want to feel inside. So they're generally happy patients. I like taking care of them and making them feel better. I think that emotional kind of self-confidence that gets re-energized is really fulfilling to me. Or seeing like a young girl, like we did a rhinoplasty and she had a hump, and then now you can see the confidence in her. It's those are really fulfilling to me. Yeah, and
Sure.
my practice has some reconstructive too as well. So when you see a defect from cancer and we reconstruct it, that's also very rewarding.
Absolutely. Cool. Beautiful. What were you like in high school?
In high school, I was, I guess, a nerd. I mean, I wasn't an athlete.
What kind of nerd? What do you like So, I'm a super nerd as well. I was like the Star Wars collection nerd. Were you that kind
I wasn't
of nerd?
that kind
Were
of
you
nerd.
like a bookworm?
I was a book nerd, yeah.
Okay.
So I read books and, got straight A's, but that wasn't anything to be proud of then. It's just everyone got A's. So
I look back at high school and I always wish I would have taken it more serious. Hindsight's always 20/20,
Yeah.
but anyways. All right, cool. Thanks,
Nice.
Dr. Yu.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thanks,
joining
Drew.
us,
Yeah.
and have a good show.
All right, thank you.